3, 2, 1, Rachel Sidoris.
She's not the fastest sled dog racer yet, and she hasn't won any major races.
Instead of taking one dog for a walk, I'm taking 8 to 10 dogs for a walk.
But in the world of mushers, all eyes are on Rachel Sidoris, and past champions in the sport are singing her praises.
She's really an inspiration to a lot of people, Rachel is, myself included.
She can do about anything she puts her mind to, I think.
Rachel is 16 years old, the youngest musher ever to complete 2 World Cup races. Last year she did 500 miles across Wyoming. Last month, she and her dog team traveled 300 miles over the Cascades of Central Oregon. Attaboy also chose her to be the spokesperson for the race.
I love the dogs, I love the outdoors, and I'm not your typical girl. I love getting dirty.
Rachel lives outside Redmond with 90 sled dogs. Her father used to race them. Now she will.
She's grown up on the runners of a sled. She can ride a sled as good as anybody.
Yet while Rachel can drive a team of dogs across the Continental Divide, she will never drive a car. You see, she is legally blind.
She remembers that she couldn't stand using the cane. She really disliked Braille.
At Redmond High School, she's just one of the girls. A youngster who must look incredibly closely to read.
Yeah, I've spent the last 16 years trying to function as a blind person in a sighted world, and then I've spent the last 10 years in school, just trying to fit in and not be seen as the little blind girl, just to be seen as another kid.
As lighting conditions change, so does her extremely limited vision.
Where is it?
On the soccer field, the ball disappears for a moment.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
But a disability to some serves simply as a challenge for Rachel to prove she's really no different.
And she really disliked being singled out for being visually impaired. And then the irony is now she's getting all this positive attention for the same thing.
Oh, no!
I honestly forget, most of the time that she is blind. And to me, she seems like every other kid. And I think that's the biggest compliment I can give her, because that's the way she wants it too.
Yeah!
And that's the way she wants to race.
If it's really bright, let's say I go from shade to sun right in my face on ice, nothing, pretty much, except like the figure of my sled and maybe a couple dogs in front of me.
But deep in the woods with only her dogs, she needs another set of eyes.
Whenever there's a place where I could crash or whatever, he's there telling me over our radios, you've got this coming up, get ready.
Rachel's visual interpreter rides ahead on a snowmobile. With a walkie-talkie, he warns her of sharp turns or dangers ahead.
And it can be real violent. A lot of people think dog sledding is just a real nice, slow sport, and you can really get pretty beat up. And she is so tough.
I've had some really close calls.
Sometimes things go wrong. Last year in Wyoming, a tight turn tumbled her sled, while her dogs dragged her on. Fear became her fuel.
I'd harness all that energy and just use it to get past that point. And then once I get past that point again, it's like, okay, that wasn't too bad. And then I just look forward to the next one where I can get scared and use that fear again.
At this year's Attaboy 300, Rachel has had several difficult days.
The lead team is averaging about 12.5 miles an hour. Rachel's a little over 9. All of it on paw power.
Right ahead. Right ahead.
She wanted to place top 20. Ultimately, she came in 23rd in a field of world caliber competitors.
I finished a little farther back than I had hoped, but that's okay. We all have those kind of races.
But Central Oregon's newest celebrity finds fans admire her no matter what.
You did great today.
Thanks.
It's fantastic. Thank you very much.
She is a hometown hero, a great, great gal, and I don't think it's gone to her head or anything. She's just wonderful.
Rachel is already thinking ahead to future races and her ultimate goal, the Iditarod, 1,100 miles across Alaska.
I think it's great.
Rachel Sidoris' personal finish line is nowhere in sight.
It's hard work, but it's totally worth it.
In Bend with photojournalist Ken McCormick, Vince Patton, KGW Northwest News Channel 8.